So, can you tell me how you got involved in Deaf Rugby and how did you hear about Deaf Rugby?
So on Facebook I saw an advert for it and I started talking to my dad about it and saying that, oh, this looks quite interesting, it's something I can relate to, so I've got an interest in rugby and I've got a hearing impairment. And then we came down to one of the Wales games and I had a look and I was like, this is quite cool, this is interesting. So I got in touch with Tony and Ash about the age requirements and stuff. And then I waited till I was 17 and came down for my first session. And then I've just kind of gone from there, really.
So you were quite young when
Yeah.
you first got to hear about Deaf Rugby. How did you get to hear about that?
It was just looking online and stuff, talking to people I know who play rugby, and they've spoken about, oh, we've heard there's a Deaf Rugby team for England, have you heard anything about it? And then just kind of went online and did some research, looked for the websites and stuff.
Right. Your involvement in Deaf Rugby has been how long?
This is my second season, because I only turned 17 last season, so I've only just become eligible to play. So this is my second season now.
So how many games have you played? Have you played in any community games?
I played in the game against Kettering, and now I'm just looking to work towards my first international cap.
So what is your aim within Deaf Rugby itself?
It's just kind of I want to get a few games in, get a few caps. I kind of want to help spread the word about there is actually availability for people who have got hearing impairment to get involved in sports like rugby.
Okay.
Because I think there's quite a big, should you really play rugby if you can't hear very well, there's a lot of communication needed. And actually as a team we kind of show really you can play and you can make it work.
So what's in the future? What's in the future of Deaf Rugby?
The New Zealand games coming up, I'm quite looking forward to those, as it's one of the first times I've heard about countries that far out having deaf rugby teams as well. And obviously it'd be interesting to see how their deaf setup compares to their non-deaf setup, and it'd be interesting to get to know what a different deaf culture is like in a different country.
Yeah. So what would you fancy your chances against New Zealand?
Yeah, I'd like to think we've got quite a good organised team at the moment. I think we'd give it a good bash and see what happens.
So have you been looking online at their rugby skills and?
Yeah, I followed quite a lot of the deaf rugby pages. It's interesting to see how their expansions are going compared to ours and what the national governing body for rugby in that country thinks of it.
Excellent.